Now coming for the next second statement format of vertical balance sheet, we had come across balance sheet which was in horizontal way so far, right? So this is going to be vertical balance sheet of joint stock companies, major part. Okay, as per Schedule 3 of Companies Act of 2013, you have to remember the Schedule 3 of Companies Act of 2013. Now let us just observe, just recall on the left side, that's on your debit side of balance sheet, what that is horizontal, we get liabilities, right? So that is going to be the first here. So on the top, the header is going to be equity and liabilities. So here, as it is involved with the share that is related to the company, we have to mention equity and liabilities, because in case of SOFA which we had come across, it was related to only the partners. Okay, but here this is completely related to the company. So when it is related to the corporate or the that is a joint stock company, we have to mention the word called equity and liability. Okay, so remember equity and liability. Under this we have three headings. First, remember three headings under the subheadings, that is shareholders fund A, B is non-current liabilities, and C is current liabilities. You just recall the way I'm teaching you people, so it's easy. So first you have shareholders fund, second non-current liabilities, and third current liabilities. Now under the first subheading shareholders fund, see the word itself tells that is the item related to the shareholders, the fund that is related to the shareholders. So first is share capital. What is the share capital? It could also be the capital invested by the shareholders, either equity or preference, whatever it is, you have to take under this. Next, reserve and surplus. We may find a reserve, general reserve, right, profit and loss. We have found in case of previous chapter admission and retirement. So that type of questions given or appeared, you have to take this under the subheading shareholders fund. Then money received against the share warrants, share application money, pending allotment. So all these, if you find these two are additional. If you find, you take it. If not, you need not. So major part is these two. So it will always appear under shareholders fund. Remember shareholders fund, you have 4 items. Now going for the second subheading, non-current liability. Just observe what is this non-current liabilities, which means it could be for a period of more than 1 year. You'll remember that if we have taken any borrowing from the outsiders for more than 1 year, which means you are promising that you will pay them after 2 years or 3 years, meanwhile you shall be paying them the interest. So this type of borrowings from the outsiders is going to be treated as non-current liabilities. So under that, let us observe long-term borrowings, any borrowings which could be for a longer period than other long-term liabilities. Next, long-term provisions, which means this is related to if you are keeping any provisions for more than whichever crosses more than 1 year. Okay, then deferred tax liabilities is any tax which is not yet paid and we have just postponed it, keeping it within us. So all these comes under non-current liabilities. The amount that is being belonged to the outsiders and still it is being holded by the company. Clear? Next, so here you have debentures. You have to remember debentures, bank loan, bank overdraft. So majority bank overdraft, it depends upon the value whether you have to treat it as a current or non-current, but still you can write it. Next, current liability is a third subheading. You know, current in the sense it should be for the shorter period, for maximum 6 months. So let us observe short-term borrowings like credit, cash credit. Okay, then you have bank overdraft, again bank loan if it is for less than 6 months. Then trade payables is nothing but bills payable. Other current liabilities, short-term provision. So any tax, okay, for a short-term period, it is still been pending, or you have created a provision for such. So all these have to come under current liabilities. So observe, you have three things. So the total of these three will be total A. Total 1, equity and liability. So this total is going to be your liability side. Just similar in case of horizontal, how do we do? The debit side total should be equal to that of the credit side. This is the same. Just the upper part should be equal to the total of the downer part, that is a footer. Now let us go for the next. Your credit side of balance sheet in case of horizontal, it's going to be assets. So here your footer is going to be the assets. So let us see what actually is given here. You have two subheadings. So in case of equity and liability, you have three subheadings, but in case of assets, it is two. Very simple. It's non-current and current, which means for longer period and for the shorter period. So let us observe what is non-current assets. And this you have fixed assets. Fixed assets are divided into tangible, intangible. Tangible is which you can touch, which you can see. Intangible couldn't. So tangible, we people know: land and building, plant and machinery, equipments, motor vehicle, motor car. So all these. Intangible, always remember: goodwill, patents, copyrights, trademarks. So all these are going to come under fixed assets. Then after that, non-current investment. Any investment which has been made by the company with the outsiders, outside other company, for more than 1 year, for a longer period. We have purchased government securities or government bonds. In that case, it is investment made by the company, right? So it could be for more than 1 year. So that is treated as non-current assets. Then long-term loans and advances. If the company has provided any loans, okay, or any advances to its employees or outsiders, so this could be treated under non-current assets. The company is providing, it is not taking, it's providing. Next, other non-current assets. So if you find further non-current assets, they might provide in the question non-current assets itself. So in that case, you just take it and write it. So these totals have to be appeared in the outer column. Then next, current assets. Very simple, you people know. Current investments for a shorter period. If you have made any investments, then you have inventories or stock. Inventories and stock is going to be the same. We people know under asset side, whatever comes: stock, cash in hand, okay, cash equivalents, cash at bank, cash in hand, all these are current assets. So trade receivables, bills receivable, trade receivable is one and the same. Then short-term loans and advances. If we have provided any loans and advances to the employees for a shorter period, then other current assets. So these items have to come under current assets. So take the total, the outer column. So the total of A and B, okay, that is non-current assets, and current assets will give you the total. That is 2 in the sense the heading. Instead of writing assets, I have taken up the Roman number 2. So this total 1 and 2 should always be equal. If it is equal, your balance sheet is tallied and your sum what you have done is completely right. Just observe the format again right from the beginning once. You have no particulars. Instead, first is equity and liability, Roman number 1, note to amount column. Okay, so first option A, then option B, then option C, and the total 1. Next, footer is 2, Roman number 2, assets, non-current assets, items, current assets, the items, and total. You divide what actually have to come under that and keep revising it again and again, so it's easy. So if you start doing over a period for 2 chapters, this 2 formats are very important to be remembered. Fine students, I guess you people have understood the concept. If you are going to learn this, it's easy for us to go for the next step of calculations.